I met Sophie under a crooked awning on Capitol Hill. She was holding a latte that slipped in her hand when her friend bumped her. The cup half spun, the milk fanned out, and I reached forward with a stack of napkins like someone offering terms of surrender. She took one, smiled, and said, "Peace accepted." For weeks after that, peace accepted became a kind of private handshake. When life got messy, my sink backing up with coffee grounds, her calendar swallowing an evening, we'd raise an invisible napkin and say it. There is a sweetness to small rituals. They make you think you can weather anything. The first time I met Kayla, we were 3 days into calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. Sophie took me to a Saturday brunch on Queen Anne, where the pancakes come in stacks that look like building permits, and everyone orders an extra side of greens to prove something to themselves. Kayla slid into the booth across from us with a scarf that could double as a picnic blanket and a smile that traveled the whole way to her eyes. "You must be Noah," she said, leaning over the table to hug me across the jam jars. The hug lasted a little too long. When she pulled back, she kept her hands on my shoulders and tilted her head. "Good bone structure. What restaurants can you afford?" She said it like a tease, and everyone laughed, even me, because I didn't want to be sensitive. That's the thing about offhand questions. They look like paper airplanes. And then you watch them lodge into drywall. We fell into a rhythm. Ferries to Bainbridge, where you can see the water turn into hammered tin under certain clouds. Blankets in Volunteer Park, cherries that stain, a rain jacket swapped back and forth like a promise. Sophie's job in marketing at a boutique agency cycled between quiet and avalanches. I freelance as a front-end engineer with a fondness for clean CSS and a weakness for over-commenting my code. We learned each other's weather. I am not great at long texts. I say okay when I mean I read this and agree. Sophie, who grew up writing careful emails to keep the temperature of group projects just right, sometimes looked at my okay and saw a door closing. We were normal in our wrong turns. I forgot to drag the compost down on Mondays because the city changed pickup times. She left a note on the dishwasher that said, "Please run me," and I read it like a ransom letter. We fixed it. We made dinner. We left. And then Kayla began to narrate our life like it was a morality play, and she was the chorus. It started with quotes, the kind that look profound if you're reading them under a blanket and infuriating if you're reading them after an argument. Know your worth and add tax. If he wanted to, he would. Do not let anyone teach you how to love yourself. They'd appear on Sophie's story within minutes of our tiny stumbles. White letters on black, the algorithm as confessional. Kayla would be the first say it louder in the comments. I didn't say anything at first because you don't fight a draft, and besides, the quotes were vague enough to deny. That's the trick. You can throw a rock across a lake and pretend you meant to make ripples. Month 2. I booked a 2-top at a Mexican place on Ballard Avenue, the one with the rip in the booth that Sophie had laughed about on our first date, the rip that looked like a map of Oregon. I asked for that booth like a person who believes in continuity. Kayla scheduled a girls' night for the exact evening. In their group chat, she typed, "A decent man understands women need space." It was presented as a general thought, the way a commercial pretends it just happened to air while you